In today's r/entitled parents, an entitled mum tries to run out the store with stolen clothes. But fortunately, the employee had a trick to stop her. Happy birthday if today's your birthday, and on with the show. So this happened a few years ago when I was working part-time at a clothing outlet. Let's just say that this company sells high-end clothing and caters almost exclusively to Karens. My life was heck for those 2 years. God bless those who work there full-time. You are the real heroes. In the cast is me, EM, lady who has clearly never interacted with another human being, EK, her screaming 1-year-old, and CO, my poor co-worker. Let me start by saying this was a Saturday shift in a crowded shopping mall, and I was working double to cover for a co-worker. I had recently been promoted to a shift lead, so I was the manager on duty that day, and was closing. Fast forward to the end of the day. The day was insane, and by the end of it, both my co-worker and I were exhausted. We were tidying up the store and taking care of all the go-backs when I heard the door open. It was 8:53, we close at 9. Enter EM and EK. Typically, if we have customers that come in that late, it's to grab a gift card or something. We do have the occasional shopper that comes right before close and stays a while, but they are typically fairly quick when they realize that they are the only ones there holding us up. Not tonight. The first thing I notice is that EK is screaming. Like, it sounds like someone is ripping off his arms level screams. I walk up to greet EM over the sounds of her screaming offspring. Good evening, ma'am. Is there something that I can help you find today? No thanks, just browsing. The worst answer. Okay, well, let me know if you need help with anything before I close the dressing rooms. My little way of insinuating that it's late and I want to go home. Well, I'll definitely need a dressing room. Can you go ahead and start one for me? Me yelling at this point over the sounds of EK screaming. Sure thing. Sorry about him. He's had a long day. Haven't we all? As I walk away, I notice that EM has a trash bag full of clothes underneath the stroller that is carting around her screaming toddler. Odd, but whatever. Maybe she has a Goodwill donation. For the next hour and a half, this woman tries on every article of clothing in the store. Per corporate policy, we can't rush guests as they shop as long as they come in before close. We tried everything. Turning off the music, sweeping the floors, closing the 2 out of 3 registers, etc. Pretty much all the indicators that we are closed and to get the F out. And yet, she stayed, and her kid screamed for an hour of it before he fell asleep. Around 10:30, she is ready to check out. I have co-workers start to ring her up so I can get closing started in the back and get us the heck out of there. I'm in the stockroom when I hear the screams. I rush out and I find this lady screaming at co-worker, who is one of the nicest people I've ever known, and is crying at this point. What seems to be the problem? Anything I can help with? Yes, you can fire this idiot because she's treating me like absolute garbage. I don't think corporate will be very happy to hear how their employees are treating paying customers. Co-worker looks at me with tear-filled eyes. Co, will you go to the back and finish the online orders for me? I'll take care of EM. Okay, ma'am, what can I help you with? Well, I was trying to get these clothes returned so I can put the credit towards my purchase. EM then takes the full garbage bag of clothes and dumps it out in front of me. Technically, the clothes inside the bag were all from the store where I worked. However, they were all a year older or more. Clearly well worn. No tags. Ma'am, I'm so sorry, but you cannot return these. What? Why not? Well, for one, they don't have any tags. You don't have the receipt, and they have clearly been washed and worn by you for quite some time. Returns are typically recent purchases that don't quite fit. Well, these don't fit me anymore, so I would like to return them, said in a very condescending tone. Our return policy is 30 days, and it can't be washed. And you need a tag or receipt. You can't just give me store credit? No, I cannot. You can try resell shops if you want to, but we aren't a thrift store. These pieces aren't even in production anymore. I'm not an idiot. I know these clothes are all from a while ago because I'm the one who bought them. They don't fit me anymore because I was busy creating human life and now I need new clothes. She gestures to her poor exhausted child, who has at this point woken up and begun to scream again. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I still can't accept these as returns. Can I help you purchase the clothes you picked out today? Like heck you can't. I have had a long day and deserve this. I can't afford to buy these without returning my old clothes. Then I don't know what I can do for you. You can get me your manager. Me, full of satisfaction. I'm the manager on the floor tonight. Well then you are so screwed. I'm calling corporate to report you and co. Here's their number. Call center opens tomorrow at 7 a.m. EM's mouth dropped. Pretty sure she didn't expect me to be so cavalier about getting reported, but I did not give a single F at this point. She was quiet for a moment and took a deep breath and asked if I could help her bag up her old clothes to take with her so she could give her screaming child a snack. I was pretty shocked at the abrupt mood change, but whatever. I'm exhausted and want to leave so bad. I start bagging up her old clothes, which she reached down to grab her kid's snack. As I'm putting the clothes on the bag, she reached over the counter, grabs the clothes she was going to purchase, and then runs towards the door. I just stand there, because it's against our policy to stop people from shoplifting anyway, and I've locked the doors to prevent other people from coming in. She gets to the doors and violently yanks the handle back and forth, trying to open them. I calmly walk over. Let me out! Sure thing. I hold out my hands for the clothes. She glares at me, then wisely decides it's not worth it. She shoves the clothes at me and turns away, muttering obscenities at me as she does so. I unlock the door and she leaves. As if that encounter wasn't crazy enough, she actually called corporate to complain after literally trying to shoplift from our store. What a wild ride. Honestly, I thought it was most stores' policy that if it's closing time, they just kick you out. I'm really surprised that they let her hang around for like an extra hour. I think if it was me, I would have just turned off the register and been like, sorry ma'am, it's closed for the day, you can't buy anything here. And no, we're definitely not going to do any returns. Here's a story to keep you poor quarantined souls entertained. The stars: myself, Karen, Karen's kid, brief cameo of the HEB store manager. This one kinda hurt to endure, not gonna lie. I'm not sure how the rest of the world has done stuff like this, but this past whole month, we in my hometown have treated our shopping days like Black Friday. Wake up really early, stand in line outside of the store, wait, etc. I decided to shop on a Saturday morning, woke up early, went to HEB, Texas-based grocery store. While waiting in line, I decided to start Star Wars 3. I haven't seen it yet, and have only just seen episodes 1, 2, 7, and 8, and this last Christmas, 9. A cute woman and her kid had just queued up behind me. Her kid is running around and she's trying to control him. I turn the volume on my headphones up. A few minutes later, I feel someone poke on my shoulder. I turn around to see who they are, what they want. It's Karen. I pause the movie and take out one earpiece. So, is that Disney Plus you're watching? It is. I'm catching up on Star Wars. Oh, my son loves Star Wars. She pronounced it Star Wars. It's not as cool as Harry Potter, and I'm more of a Trekkie myself, but it's not bad. I thought that was all the conversation was going to be. Go back to streaming my Mouse House subscription. She pokes me on the shoulder. Again. Yes? She has a pen out and looks like she's going to start writing. So, what are your login credentials? I'm sorry? Oh, you know, to your Disney Plus. My husband and kid love Star Wars and Marvel. I could go for a classic Disney fix. To that, I just turn around. Holy crap, how do people like that even exist? Karen decides to get in front of me and get into my face like she's gonna fight me. Excuse me, did you just ignore me? I asked for your login stuff. We don't have anything to do at home. How could you be so selfish? I don't even know who you are. Does that matter, boy? You know, you're the only person here who is alone, and I think I know why. Not only do you take up 5 spots, but you're selfish. I know I'm big, but not that big. I identify as Peter Quill from Infinity War. Chubby, but not obese. So anyway, Karen is crapping an unholy brick about not getting what she wants until somebody interrupts. It's the store manager. Apparently, this woman had upset somebody a few feet up ahead, and now manager is here to investigate. Excuse me, but can I help with something? I explain the problem. Karen gives him her version of the events. Sir, I'm sorry that you had to endure this. Please come to the front of the line and be one of the first people to shop today. At that, no joke, I swear I heard Karen cry like her 5-year-old child. Here's a hint, Karen. If somebody has their earphones in and they're watching something in line during a pandemic, they probably don't want to be bothered, they probably just want to be left alone. So unless you have something important to say like, hey, look where you're going, you're about to run into a pole, maybe just keep to yourself and don't ask for their login credentials to their streaming service, like that's so bizarre. A little backstory. I have a psychiatric service dog who alerts me to my anxiety attacks and helps me with my sensory processing disorder, SPD. I will disassociate when I get too stressed or overwhelmed, which can be dangerous if I'm really out of it. My dog can ground me, make me sit down, and do deep pressure therapy, DPT, to pull me out of an episode faster. I never let anyone pet him, because if he misses an alert because he's distracted, I could get hurt. He doesn't go in public anymore due to personal reasons, but he still does all of his tasks at home. This happened about 1.5 years ago when I was 14. In the cast is me, entitled mum, Kid, he was actually super sweet, and George, my service dog. So George and I were at the mall with my dad, who was in a different store at the moment. George and I were doing some training outside to practice around distractions. That's when this sweet little boy came over and asked if he could pet George. His mum was nowhere in sight. I used to get people coming up to me, asking to pet George all the time, so I was used to it. Can I pet your dog? No, I'm sorry sweetie, he's working right now. Okay. That's when his EM started walking towards me. I put Georgina down by my side in case she was nervous around dogs, and so George could have a break since we had been training for a while. I expected her to ask some questions about George and see if her kid was curious about what service dogs do, since I get that often.
What do you mean he can't pet him? Your dog isn't working. He's just laying there.
Ma'am, he's my medical alert dog. I never say he's a psychiatric service dog because then people assume he's an emotional support animal, which doesn't have public access rights. He can't be distracted or he could miss alerting me to an oncoming medical episode. At this point I expected her to apologize, but boy was I wrong.
Well, what does he alert to then?
He alerts to changes in my cortisol, the hormone that causes anxiety, and my heart rate.
No he doesn't. I bet you just bought that vest on Amazon so you could take your dumb mutt everywhere.
George is a purebred boxer and he was wearing his $100 custom vest I got from Riverdog Gear. They're really nice and kind of expensive, but I love mine. Actually, ma'am, I bought this vest from a special service dog shop that only makes them for real teams.
Well, you probably lied. Cortisol isn't even a real thing. You don't even look disabled. Let my kid pet your dog. Go on, Kay. You can pet the puppy.
I immediately told George behind, which means stand behind me, which moved him away from the EM and K. The EM flipped.
How dare you move your dog away from my child? He should get to pet your dog. It's a free country.
Yes, but my dog is my medical equipment, and therefore my private property. George started alerting to my anxiety and trying to get me to sit down, so I walked away from the EM who, thankfully, didn't follow and sat down. I then texted my dad that I was taking a chill pill, our way of saying George alerted, and told him where I was. After that, we went to the food court and got Chick-fil-A for lunch. After that, my dad took me to Starbucks so I could get a hot chocolate for myself and a puppuccino, basically just a short cup of whipped cream, which the employees happily made for him. Now you could kind of understand if somebody didn't know what cortisol was, but to just deny it and say, oh, you made up that hormone, that doesn't exist, when it's probably like a 5-second Google check, yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. Maybe what this person needs is both a service dog and a guard dog, one to protect them and the service dog from EPs. So I am a bike nerd. I fix my friends' bikes often and was planning on a 50-mile bike trip before crap went down. Now my parents make me and my siblings play outside on nice days and don't get us face masks. I don't care because I go outside nearly every day to ride my bike anyways, and I also buy my own face masks. I was riding my bike and me attempting to social distance. I was always on the other side of the street than other people. Pretty fair, right? No. So there's a dead-end road that goes for half a mile. I like to go down that road and cover some miles when I was met with a situation. Option 1. Get rammed by a car and ducking die. Heck no. Option 2. A group of elderly people without face masks taking up half the road. Heck no. Option 3. A younger woman with a face mask and 2 kids riding trikes without face masks. Not great, but I'll take my chances. Option 3 it is. But as you maybe have expected, that was a mistake. I slide in front of the car and end up about 2 feet away from the mother and her kids. Oh crap, here we go.
Excuse me,
What is it?
you just ran over my children and pretend you did nothing?
Ma'am, I never focused a wink on your kids.
Mommy, if OP ran me over, I will be hurt, but I'm not.
See, nothing happened, except me going out of social distancing mode for a minute. I shouldn't have said that, because EM had a new excuse.
What the frick? You just infected my child with the China flu thing.
That's how she said it. Ma'am, can I go now? This is when the EM pulls another excuse out of her demonic bag. My lack of helmet.
You son of a B-word. How dare you teach my kids not to wear a helmet?
Ma'am, I'm a forgetful person. I do stuff like this all the time.
You don't deserve that.
What?
You know, your bike. Hand it over.
What the F? No. I start to ride it away, but Karen is still chasing me.
Help! This man assaulted me and infected me with the virus.
All of a sudden, a pedestrian stops me.
OMG, this pervert corrupted my children, ran them over, assaulted me, and infected my family with the virus.
Pedestrian, call him P. Is this true? No.
Make him hand over his bike and give my baby his face mask.
We still have no evidence.
You don't need evidence. Make him hand those over.
Not until further inspection.
Why would you defend an assaulter?
P was getting suspicious, and I noticed the old people group was walking down the street to come and watch. Call them OGs. Hallelujah. Here are some people coming this way. Let's have them give their perspective. Yes, this lunatic—
No. You don't want us spreading the China flu, do you?
None of us had it, I hope.
Stop harassing that young son over there. No, I was harassing P to get him to call the police. No, we saw your little accident with OP. Stop harassing him. I know my rights.
She tries to pull my face mask off and they're all trying to stop her. Eventually P pretends to dial 911. EM has a glitter in her eyes. Hello? We have a lunatic lady assaulting a boy for his face mask. EM finally rips off my face mask. No worries, I carry backups, and runs away. P reveals he's been faking it, and we all have a good laugh. No karma, but at least me and my bike are safe. Hope it's the same for you. Sometimes an entitled parent reminds me of a character in a Pokemon game. You know when you're walking past a trainer and all of a sudden it's like ding! This person wants to fight you and there's just no escape, you have to fight them now? I just wanted to walk through here, man. I didn't want to fight you, okay? At least he made it out okay. Submit your story to be read on the channel at VoiceyHereStories@gmail.com and join our Voicey veteran community at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright, Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.